Hello and welcome to the Lesbian Lounge, a podcast for the girls who like girls. I'm your host and your resident lesbian big sister, Juliet Taylor, and today I'm joined by the fabulous Jordan and Amy Barker-Porter. They're joining us in the Lesbian Lounge, so grab a drink, get comfy and welcome in. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. I'm so excited to have you guys here. Do you want to just tell the listeners a little bit about who you are?
Yeah. I'll let you go first, hit it up. Oh, okay, so I'm Amy, a lesbian as well. I always say that. I don't usually look like a typical lesbian.
Not
like you, bitch.
Alright, okay. We're going now.
I am 36, I'm a mum. This is like, I think I find it really awkward when I have to talk about myself, believe it or not.
You do actually, it's
You
crazy.
should have introduced me and I should have introduced you.
Yeah. Well, I'm Jordan. I'm the spicy one in the relationship.
No, you're not.
I'm actually a lot younger than Amy. I'm 31 years of age. So she's got quite a few years ahead of me. Background, I'm a professional boxer. I'm a PT and fitness instructor. And yeah, we've got our beautiful little girl, Jersey, who is 3, nearly 4.
Yes.
And yeah, that's a bit about us.
So you're much better at it than Rose.
I think it's just I've had a lot of practice over the years with the boxing interviews.
Lots of media training.
Yeah. It's, you know, you like, oh, my name's Amy, hi.
I'd be better if I was acting a character.
Like putting on a show,
Yeah.
possibly. Well, do you want to tell us a little bit about the story, how you guys met? How long have you been together?
Yeah. So I always get this one.
Yeah, I'm actually going to let you lead on this one. How long have we been together?
So we got together in September 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So we did.
Sure,
we did,
like,
okay, yeah.
exactly.
What was the date in September?
23rd.
Well, nearly my birthday,
Yeah.
27th.
Yeah.
And
And how cute was it, Amy? You sat us down on a curb and asked us to be your girlfriend.
Tell you what, you've taken away. So
How long have we been married?
let us get this down. So whatever that is, I think it's like 12 years in September. We've been married for 8 years in August. And we got married on the 19th of August 2017. There's a lot of numbers to remember, and I got a D in maths.
Okay.
I'll
let it slide, you got it right.
And yeah, so that we've been married for 8 years. We have obviously got Jersey, who will be 4 in October. So yeah, we've done quite a bit so far, haven't we?
Yeah,
In the decade that we've been together.
I could have actually done a sentence and
You
been
could
out by
have.
now, to be
Oh.
honest. But yeah, to be honest, the meeting story isn't actually anything too romantic.
So basically, when we met, there was no dating site. Like, you know, like now, a lot of people do meet on, like, I nearly called it Hinder. I'm such a freak Tinder. They say that's how out of touch I am. I think, like, Plenty of Fish was around and I wasn't even on there. That was for, like, older people, wasn't it? So we literally met Newcastle gay scene. Very romantic, in heavens. I don't even know if that's still even there now. But that was just initial, like, first scene, she went like, hello, blah, blah, blah. And then Jordan was very standoffish. Like, I don't know, you can probably get a bit of a vibe from her. She's not exactly the most extrovert person. So I went outside and was like, are you Jordan Barker? And she went, yeah. And I thought, oh my god, completely hard to get, this is great. No one ever pies, it's but just kind of piners. And then that was kind of that. Went home and then I got a message off her on Facebook saying, did ye have a good night? And she spelled ye like Y-A. So I was thinking, oh, she's trying to be like really cool, but I'm going to go with it. But I'm not going to reply. And I actually left her unread for about 2 weeks. Initially it was just meant to be like 24 hours, but I was just dead busy and I thought, yeah, like I probably might see her out again and like, but then
keep them
yeah, 100%. And if I had have been as desperate as I am now, I'm a bit of a desperate mensch now, aren't I? So,
Well, I mean, you made the first move, you came to me, so I kind of knew from that I was kind of in. So that's why I thought, right, I'm gonna just drop you a message.
You and be like, so
You literally followed us out to the smoking area. Bearing in mind, I didn't smoke with my friend that was smoking.
Neither did I.
And you shot out as soon as we were out there, and it was like you just pounded for us. And I thought, I'm in here. So
but
that's why I thought
she wasn't a resident lesbian that was always at the scene because you always had.
I was very fresh.
Have you ever been to Newcastle gay scene?
Yes.
I don't. It's not as big.
It's
as
like Rusties and stuff.
Yeah, it used to be like a lot better. Like there was so like it was always
bouncing.
busy, wasn't it? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it was always the
I
same
don't like them
people.
because the toilets are always really grim.
Yeah, disgusting.
We went to Switch a few weeks ago and I was like, oh,
always like
vile.
soaked.
horrible.
Yeah.
gross.
In Heavens, you actually had to go through the women's toilets to get the men's.
Oh, right.
So it was just a traffic of people coming in and out. It was lifting, but Yeah, so Jordan wasn't like, I was out all the time. I was out Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and like all the time seeing Queen or whatever you really want to call it. You were never there.
I was the fresh totty on the scene.
When Jordan came out, I was like, I've never seen him before, ever. And do you know what was really different? So back in the day, a lot of lesbians, I mean still now they might do it, or straight people, used to shave the side of the hair, and then they'd have the rest of it like dead.
I feel like it's like an undercut now, isn't it?
It's an undercut now, yeah.
Or an eyebrow slit.
Yeah, 100%. So Jordan had, she didn't want to take the plunge, so she just used to like slick it back with like loads of bobby pins, and I think, gosh, it's so like different.
Edgy.
Yeah, like proper edgy.
I didn't follow the crowd.
You didn't, I didn't, and I think that's why I liked you, because you weren't like, nobody really knew you.
Yeah.
You were just, yeah.
Cutting my hair as well would have been a big thing, because coming from my background, like your hair, long hair is like a big thing.
Yeah,
so
the
like
travellers have a don't know.
there's just, I think if I'd actually shaved a bit of my head, I think you and I probably would have been disorders. Yeah. I mean, it was bad enough with the tattoos, just being a lesbian anyway, but like
to stick to the bobby pins.
Full shaving, so yeah, I'll just stick to this bobby pins and be safe.
Yeah.
But
so that was kind of, and then
dropped in your DMs, you left us on red for 2 weeks, and then slid us your number within the instant of you replying to me message 2 weeks later.
Why are we going to continue this conversation on Facebook Messenger?
Well,
rather just
it was sharp.
Yeah.
The movement was sharp.
So I went through to Durham to see her, which I'd never actually been to Durham before, and
Emmerdale.
Yeah, it was very much like an hour and a half to get there within traffic, and I thought, freaking hell, this better be worth it.
But it was at the time I was living in Brandon, so it was like right out the way as well.
Yeah, I was closer.
I've been to Sunderland more than I ever have since getting in my new relationship.
Oh, is that where you're going?
Yeah, I don't even need Google Maps now. Like, I know where I'm going. No.
Oh,
if I'm going from like Benton Way, but from here you don't need it. So basically live in Sunderland.
When the tunnel's next, we lived near the tunnel, so like, but I didn't realise you could go to Durham through the tunnel, but it's probably like, 10-minute difference. So at the time I was like, A1, always putting in petrol, but I was always so excited to see you.
It's worth it, isn't it? It's always worth the drive.
And it just progressed really quick, didn't it? It was just like, we kind of knew from there.
But as you know, lesbians move in after 3 days.
Oh,
it's like, literally,
it was
we were rapid.
It was sharp.
And then we got engaged after about a year.
You say that, I'm sure it was like 3 weeks.
It wasn't 3 weeks.
You were like, I need to lock this girl in so no one else can get
we
there.
We actually just spoke about this exact situation on our podcast, so like to make sure it's all matches.
Yeah, it was a year.
Proposed to her at London on New Year's Eve, Big Ben. And
romantic bastard.
Romantic as hell. Everyone thought Jordan would have proposed to me, which you probably would have if it was now.
Had you have not, I think I would have went down that route.
You better.
But a year was spicy, wasn't it?
Yeah, so and then we got married 2 years after that, was it?
Yeah, we had like 2 years planning, so it was 2 years after the proposal.
So we've just we wanted to live life as a normal couple, so like do all the things that you straight couples would do, and like we wanted to have a big white wedding, we wanted to have a baby and things that like now it's a lot more normal I think for people that are in like gay relationships and stuff.
Yeah, because when you proposed to me, like it wasn't really common in the lesbian world of people that we knew anyway. Like there have been lesbians or same-sex couple with the males as well married, but I didn't know of any, if I'm honest. So like when you proposed to me, it was very, very new and fresh.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And how did you find wedding planning as a lesbian couple? Because I've got a few friends who are currently planning, all the banners say Mr. and Mrs. Like, it's impossible to find Mrs. and Mrs. When you ring up for somewhere, it's like, oh, is this for you and your husband? Like, how did you find tackling that? Did you encounter a lot of it, or was it more just...
To be fair, because Jordan's name's unisex, that was the leading thing for the assumption. So, like, Mr. But to be honest, we looked at a couple of places, but we didn't really give them any information. We just turned up as us two, and I kind of just, a bit naive, just wanted them to understand.
Yeah, it's like when you go to a hotel, like, oh, we've got you down for a double, do you want 2 twin beds? It's like, no, I'm quite happy with the double bed, actually. I'd like a spoon tonight.
What we actually got, though, is I was doing a double wedding. I was like, no, we're getting married to each other.
And jumping forward a little bit, when we have our wedding pictures, my mum was like showing everyone, and they were like, and I think on the one picture she showed, it was like Jordan and her brother as in me and my brothers, and they're like, oh, so they had double weddings. That I thought, well, we look like we're brothers, it's freaking sick. But like we didn't actually, we got married at the South Causey, and to be honest, we didn't really have to tell them that it was us getting married. Like, oh, is this your sister? Or like, are you bringing your friend along? Like, the wedding planner that we had, I think it was called Jamie at the time. He was like spot on, and nothing was ever brought up. So we were really lucky. But if I had have had like a niggle where it was like something disrespectful. I probably would have just
so you don't want to get married somewhere where you don't feel like comfortable to get married there.
And sometimes I'll like when we went dress shopping, we went together, didn't we, a bride's dream, and as soon as we went in, I was like, oh, we are getting married to each other, so I kind of like get it out there straight
before they can assume. Just tell them.
And they were mint. They had one of us downstairs, one of us upstairs, checking that they complimented each other, but we weren't seeing each other's dresses.
And also, because I think at one point we picked the same dress out, so they had to give us the heads up for that we didn't then end up in the same dress.
And then like a lot of the stuff that we had for like signage and stuff we just did myself. But yeah, it was literally like, I think we had exactly the same wedding cards off everyone for Mrs. and Mrs. It must just be the one card specific card. But now there is a little bit more.
It's definitely becoming more, not even just accepted, but just people like just now know that there's girls who are getting married to girls, so they're going to have Mrs. and Mrs. things and not like one option for everyone.
But it was really nice, wasn't it? Like, and like I said, I wanted to have like, Jordan is a gypsy, they have the biggest weddings known to mankind, and I was like, why do we need to like hide away from that? I want a big wedding as well. So.
And I wanted a big wedding. It's not like one of us wanted one thing, one of us wanted something. We were very, very like in sync with what we want in life. So it was lush, and because the old barn had just been converted, we were like one of the first people to get married in that section. So it was really nice, special.
It was.
Amazing. And then obviously you got married and then had Jersey.
Yes.
If you're happy talking a little bit about how you went through the process of having Jersey. Obviously it's not as simple as just...
Well, I know. It's literally like...
transaction.
To be honest, when it first come about, like obviously we knew we wanted kids, but when we first actually started trying was probably like... We got married in August and it was the April, wasn't it, when we first contacted, like... And I'll be honest, there's a lot more stuff now, like you do have like TikTok where you can find out everything in the world now.
I've seen people being like, I just put a syringe, like... Just literally like to the end, put a syringe in, and I'm like,
when we've watched stuff, because we obviously we almost like had to study it, didn't we? So like we rang around different clinics. They weren't very not compassionate. Like I didn't need loads of like empathy and stuff that we were trying, but they didn't really like, I don't know, like understand when like some of the clinics were just like, you'll have to go to your doctors and get referred, or you'll have to do this. And it's like referred for what? Do I just say I'm a lesbian and I get referred?
Well, because things that when straight couples are like, oh, we're trying for kids, it's like, oh, you're just shagging on. Whereas gay couples, it's like, we're trying for kids. We're having to speak to people and follow a whole process. It's like, I think it's not as simple as just having a shag and hoping for the best.
That's it, literally. So we went to the first clinic, which they did like they do like scans and stuff. It's all money though. Like one scan was 350. You know, to check your egg count was 80. You had to do mandatory counselling, which was 100. It was just crazy, like all the little bits and bobs. But they did like a scan to check basically if you should get IVF or IUI. So that was called a high COSI scan, where they like basically put some dye into your fallopian tubes and that just, you watch it on the camera, travel around. If it didn't travel all the way around, then they would say do IVF because you've got a blockage, which was like a waste of money. So that was good because that like made us know that we didn't have to do IVF, we could do IUI, which is basically getting inseminated.
Not like in your bed with like a cow pollen.
But then when I started looking at it, because that cost, the first time we did that, it was like 1,800 for the treatment, and then the sperm was like $1,000. So like that was just for one, like literally one try. So we were like, well, we can't go every month. So like I remember watching a program on the telly that was oh my god, what was it called, where it had all them donors, where, well, I say all 3 donors, and it just showed you them like driving up and down the country, dropping like a cup of sperm off at people's houses and stuff, and it was like, it was really bad, and I was like, oh my god, like people are obviously just getting pregnant this way, which we didn't want to do. So it was like, well, luckily our families really helped financially, didn't they? Like, and then what you're saying there though, there was a Facebook group, and I remember it was on, I think this morning or something, where it was like, find your donor, and it was just men offering their sperm to
so that Facebook group, like, are we dating the same person?
And
there's a Facebook group for everything now.
How crazy. They have different terminology. So I remember they had like NI and AI, and I was like, what's that mean? So like a man would put on offering sperm to a lesbian couple, NI, which means natural insemination. So they want to come and basically book you. Like,
my god,
literally, they do though, don't they? Or AI is artificial, so they'll just drop it off.
That's wild, isn't it?
But this one man that was doing it, that was on the telly, was from like the Midlands, right? And he had 60 successful pregnancies. But the Midlands isn't a big place. That's 60 potential siblings that are going to come into contact. Maybe it's in relationships. It's like a Netflix documentary.
As soon as it's like, do they know who that sperm
Well,
was.
yeah, it's crazy. So we didn't do that. So we did when we lived in Durham. We did Darlington, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
And then we moved through to Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to take over? Because I'm just Kathy.
We did start the London Fertility Clinic only because when we researched, it was number one.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, well, we want to go to the
Give
best
yourself the
clinic we
best
can,
chance,
yeah. And they just weren't, like, our experience was they just weren't really interested in us as people. It was all about money.
It was
all about a transaction.
Yeah. Like, I did say you felt like you wanted like a checkout.
Yeah.
I said like an Aldi checkout, like in and out. And I said we want like Waitrose experience. Like
I
don't
love
buy
it.
yourself in and out quickly. Which
And
it
I
was.
think for the cost of what you were paying compared to now that we know the cost that you can pay to say the Centre for Life or somewhere else within the area is like nearly half the price for one go, and it's the same service you're getting. But actually, because with the Centre for Life, it's NHS ran, but obviously you can pay privately, you still get treatment. So I feel like the nurses were just a little bit more in touch with you, like they cared about you as a person, like as you as a couple.
You weren't just like another number on the list of, God, go and do them.
You got put through like a counselling session as a couple, the things that you might come up and face when
I would
you do
never
have a
even
kid.
think about that. That's
crazy,
really good that they put that on there.
Because they asked us, like, say if you have a baby, like, when are you planning to tell them? Are you not going to tell them? And I was like, oh, well, probably like, when do you get sex education? Like, year 6, year 5. And the counsellor's like, no, you need to be telling them earlier. Or at least I recommend, because kids can be so curious. And so, like, we've got loads of plans with what we're doing with Jersey, like, to start. Because now she loves making stuff. So we thought we'll make, like, a scrapbook of how she was brought into the world. So it's still, like, her level. But it's kind of like when she's older, she knows that we've kind of
it's not like you kept anything.
Yeah, 100%.
From it. But I guess all she knows is having two amazing mums.
Yeah, she talks about other people's dads at school. One of her friends lives with her grandma. So like there's a lot of different scenarios now than like when we were at school. So
there's a Lush Kids book, I don't know what it's called, but it's like just all about different families, like single dad families, 2 dad families, 1 mum, a grandparent, a carer, like this, you know, just to show kids that like, but every household is completely
totally
different.
But she's special, isn't she?
So we Centre for Life I just found a lot better, to be honest, and like it was there where we found out about the motility rate, and that's why a lot of couples don't even realise that that's a thing. So it's how quick they swim basically. So we were paying at the London Fertility Clinic the slowest rate,
right? Just because
so
it was
like
cheaper. It was like 150 quid cheaper, and it went up in 5s, wasn't it?
But they never told us that. Whereas that was one of the first things the nurses at the Centre for Life explained to us. I was like, God, had we have known that back then, we could have give ourselves a little bit of a better chance by paying for a better swimmer, basically.
Just to get a bit faster.
Honestly, so people that message me that I've been trying, I'll say, what advice have you got? And I'll say, I don't have advice as such, but like factually speaking, this is what we found. And like, I remember someone messaged not long ago saying that they were now successful because they'd looked at stuff like that, and it is all money making, really, isn't it?
Whereas there, you just felt like they cared a little bit more, like
they want to give you the best chance possible,
and they'd ring you like knowing that like it's test time, or like and check in, see how if it was positive, negative, and like just have a bit of a chat with you. So it's like it was just a nicer experience, to be honest.
Yeah.
Now you've got a list.
So
I know. Do you want kids?
Oh, I don't know. I quite like giving them back.
Yeah.
Because obviously I teach them all dancing, so I quite like at the end of the day going,
true.
And here is your child.
You've
been a little shit today. Enjoy. Bye.
I think that's people say, when do you want kids? And it's like now there's like we've got a best friend, she doesn't want kids, so it's like life's just so different.
Yeah, well, like I think if I hadn't, because I've got so many kids in my life, it's like I feel almost like a big sister to every single child that I teach dance. So like I've got that like experience. I'm like, do I want to change a nappy and deal with the snot and the tantrums? They're expensive. Like if I want to go to Disney and then I've got to pay to take my child as well. Do you know what I mean? And then if they don't want to go on a ride, I'm like, what am I going to do? Can't leave you here. So I mean, in the future potentially, but it's like I've never been like, you know, some people just all they can dream about is like kids. Having kids and like being pregnant and be like, I don't want to be. I don't know if I
honestly that was I was craving being pregnant, didn't I? Like you weren't too fussed about it, and I was just
happy
like,
not doing that.
Was it an easy decision to decide who would?
Well, it was always going to be yourself because you're older, and like she was scared she was hitting the age bracket of where you're going into like the over 50s.
So 15 year old, 14 year
So it was always the case if Amy was going to go first and I was going to go second. After experiencing Amy going through pregnancy and giving birth, that is a fucking absolute no for me. Like I am out, and like I don't want to sound like it might come across selfish to anyone else, but like to me, I just don't physically think I could put my body through it.
That's
like,
what I think. I'm like, it just makes me feel like, oh, thinking about it. I think anyone who does is an absolute superwoman.
Oh, 100%.
But I also
respect,
get it, it's like women, like, you work hard for your figure, you will with like that, like the stuff you do, but like, you know, like you're in a sport and stuff like that. So for me, I've never thought, well, that's really selfish. Like I'd rather that, because I always said if not, and Jordan, it was forced to go through it. It's just kind of like that. Just it's not
takes away the
because
because like for me, I'm at the pinnacle of my career. Like I'm just about to peak, so like that would probably, with the age I'm at, put us out completely if I got pregnant now. So. And you respect that, and you actually want to go through pregnancy again, so it's an easy decision.
I love having a big bum. I love to be swollen ankles.
Yeah. I know the thing I would love is being like, anything I want, I can have. Well, I'm pregnant. So you know what? If I want a foot rub. I'm getting a foot rub. And like, if I want McDonald's at 2 a.m. in the morning, literally, you're going to have McDonald's.
Yeah, that was exactly what I was just running around skivvying. Babe, I'm craving this right now. Worries, I'll go and get it. Like. You did get everything, to be fair. And then the discussion at the end was about a push present. I was like, a push present? I'm not in America.
Someone had got a push present on, was it, what we were watching something?
It sounds very American, doesn't it?
It was Selling Sunset.
It was one of the girls
had got like a Rolex or something. And I was like, oh no, like we're alright on a push present. I actually was alright on that. My present was having jerseys. It was
but yeah, we're lucky that you were happy to go through it again, because like I just couldn't be dealing with getting boobs and it's just not for me. I'm happy being a 13-year-old boy.
I don't think mine could get much bigger if I got pregnant. But
I don't really have much. And I didn't breastfeed, but like after Jersey was born, I remember like one day my boobs just like ballooned out, and I was like, massive. Oh my god, I feel like a porn star. I should have actually got myself OnlyFans at the time.
But my mum tells me all the time I need mine reduced. So God, if I got pregnant and started breastfeeding, she'd be like, should we chopping them off ourselves? Get them gone.
Get them gone. But like it was long. So like, that was over 3 years. It was like 10 or 11 tries. I can't remember exactly. So it was like that was a long process. But it got towards the end, and we were like, we'll stop putting things on hold, because you put your holidays on hold. It's like if you ovulate on a weekend, the clinic was shut, so you miss a month. So it's like we did as many as we could financially, and then obviously for when it was open. But
and you don't think as well, like, what if it doesn't happen on try one? Try two. You have to.
And in a straight relationship, you can, as long as you're with your partner, basically do it wherever. With us, it is, if we're on holiday, we can't do it. So a lot of it was kind of like, well, life was circulated around that for a long time, but then we kind of just relaxed a little bit, and then it did happen. So
that's good. And it was on our last try where they had a discussion that if it wasn't successful, we could have potentially qualified for one free round of IVF because of the time and years that we'd tried. But luckily we actually fell pregnant on that last one. And it was like, I must admit, like, I know it's easier said than done saying to someone relax, but that is the key. If you're going through treatment and it's not happening,
it's a bodily thing. If you're putting pressure on your body, 100%. It's like stress and everything, like that anxiety, it affects everything inside. So
that 2 weeks that you had to wait to do a test after treatment was probably the worst. Like, you were just sort of a height, you're walking on eggshells, you was like up here to the maximum, you know. And I think that last time we tried is when we were still in COVID, and both our birthdays are really close together. So we did a special little setup for each other in the house, rose petals, the candlelit dinner. And like, whilst we were actually sat having that, you were pregnant without even realising. Just like the small things, and I was like, that's when you fully just like chilled out. And it happened.
I love that. Well, we'll move on to our question of the week, which I'll ask you two first, and I'll read out some of the answers. So what is one piece of advice that you'd give to your younger queer self?
So no, mine, I know what mine would be. So again, we spoke about this just yesterday on ours, which is for me, when you first come out, like I come out, God, I don't even know how long ago it was, like 17,
16 years ago.
Had you both been with other people before?
Unfortunately.
We had. So like I'd come out a long time ago, and when I did used to go down to Newcastle gay scene, it was very much like there was one way to dress, and that was the same, where like now I can just be myself, so I am a very girly girl. I know one day I do look like a STEM. I'm not. And you look like lesbian.
I loved you. I used to call a TikTok lesbian.
Yeah, what's that?
What is a TikTok lesbian? Come on.
I haven't become gay for TikTok. But today I do look a bit more cash. But I do actually love having my nails done, having my eyelashes done,
nails, jewellery, everything.
But when I first come out, if you dress like that, you are kind of seen almost like as a fake lesbian. Like people wouldn't really take you serious, or
lipstick
like
lesbian.
Yeah, but like even then they'd be like, oh, but she's straight. So like the real lesbians wouldn't really give you much like attention for like relationship. It was just like, oh, maybe it's the neck on and a bar and that's it. And I was like, so I never
cheeky finger.
So I would never go out girly unless I was going out with me straight friends. So I just wished I had of like being as confident as I am myself now back then.
Just to dress the way you want to dress.
I look back, I used to wear like jeans that I used to pin at the bottom with fucking Toms in like a shirt, and I even used to try and make my shirt look girly so I'd have a bit of cleavage out, but then my hair I would put it in a bun, I wouldn't wear it down. It was just like just not me.
Yeah, like
and
trying to fit into this societal standard of what a lesbian should look like and should act
where
like.
now everyone's so much more fluid, and if Jersey was gay, straight, whatever, I would just hope she was able to feel comfortable to dress however she wanted, regardless of her sexuality. So that would be mine. I know it's not big, but
no, I think that's really important. So a lot of people feel that the need to look a certain way to be considered, like the amount of people I'm like, they'll try and play with me, like, I'm gay, like, well, you're not. And it's like, oh, I fucking am.
You don't look gay, and it's like, it's
like there's no way to look gay, there's no way to act gay. It's just who we are.
Exactly.
Totally.
What about you, Jordan?
For me, it would be not worry about what other people think of us so much, and like let other people impact the way that I feel, because for so long I didn't accept myself because other people didn't accept me, and that played a massive strain into my life even up until this day now. Really, it's taken us a long time to be able to like let go and be free. I've had to go through counselling, everything, because like I held on to a lot of trauma from the past of when I come out because of the experience I had, which then led to like heavy drinking and other
finding ways to cope.
Finding ways to cope, and feeling that I have to like, I felt like I had to be straight for so long, and I wasn't straight, so it was like such a struggle. So I wouldn't let other people impact the way that I feel. I just like it's taken us a long time to be at the stage where I'm like, I'm gay, I am who I am, I dress who I am, accept us or fuck off,
or don't.
sort of thing. So I wish I could have just been a little bit stronger for myself back then. That's what I tell myself: be a bit stronger and just be who you want to be.
Not just pick a random boy you fancy.
That's just like basically.
Isn't he fit? So I would.
No, he actually got a boyfriend for a week, and he wanted to take it to second base, and I sacked him off.
I broke up with my first boyfriend the night after we first had sex because I was like, that was awful.
What?
Get out of my life. It was absolutely shocking. So I'll tell you some of other people's, just so we all feel nice and accepted. So we've got, I used to lie awake feeling sick at the age of 7 or 8, knowing I liked girls. So I tell her 10 years from now it'll be widely accepted and you'll be at your happiest being your most authentic self.
Oh, I love
it's
that.
true though, isn't it? Like when you're yourself, you're so much happier.
Yeah, totally.
Someone said, buy Bitcoin. I mean, fair enough.
Okay.
You will get played by the studs. So don't go for the studs.
That is funny. But I also think like I think stems are kind of bad.
You're looking at me, so like I'm bad. Like
no, you're not.
I'm not to you.
But
like,
I think stems in general. I think some of the studs can be really soft if they get like if they're like hooked up.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah,
I think anyone for the right person will be locked in for that person.
Yeah, 100%.
But the stems are usually that's who I would go for a stem. So I usually find them the most attractive.
They're the fuck girls.
Yeah, they're the most attractive, but they know it.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're used to the attention because they look gay, whereas we don't get the attention because we don't look gay, but they're used to it. So they can play everyone.
The amount of thirsty people that sign in for Jordan are like,
because the chicks are lesbian.
Well, like I'm married, but like Jordan does things to me, and I was like, just fuck all of you, mate. Like, but I get nothing. I just get Amy so bunny. Bonnie is what I used to get called when I was little and chubby.
Steve in your DMs like, hi sex.
Yeah, it's like I don't want them there. I don't want anyone in my DMs, but I'd take real people over fucking robotic fake man in America offering us $5,000.
I'm a pretty lady.
Can I send you some money?
Can I ask you a question? That's what I get.
But like, here's me PayPal. Thanks. Everything will work out okay. You don't need to prove your queerness to anyone.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Cut your hair earlier, you'll feel so much more yourself and look fabulous.
That is very true, because I've been watching someone actually at the minute, like loads of lesbians are going to this woman, I don't know where she is in the country, and they're going in with like ponytails, but they're like, they've obviously wanted short hair for some time. And
I've seen it,
and you just see them afterwards and they're like,
the feel. It's like that look in the mirror and you're like, oh my god, like, that's who I've wanted to like be inside, and now you've got the outside to match.
Love that.
Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
Whatever shit people give you now in year 9, by 6th form half of them will be gay too.
Yeah, that is true.
No, that is so true. And I apologise if anyone from my school is watching, because I remember there was a group of girls that were like quite gothic-y, and they were all bisexual or gay, and I used to call them dykes. And I was a closet dyke. I was the closet dyke. So now, if they're watching, I'm really sorry. I'm a massive lesbian too.
I used to get bullied for being a lesbian. I never told anyone I was a lesbian. Everyone just assumed, obviously, they were right. I was like, I used to go to my head teacher crying, they're calling me a lesbian again. Like, I didn't even know really that I was, but I knew I didn't fancy boys, and I knew I did like to look at the girls, but I just didn't know, because I just felt like it wasn't seen anywhere on social media, so it was like hard to understand
the L word.
What
that was probably the only thing.
Whereas now it's like you've got I Kissed a Girl and everything to make it more accepted. But I was like, they're calling me a lesbian again. Like, but now I look back and I'm like, well, to be fair, it's all right. So whoever's won that bet, don't go for your usual type, because they're all psychopaths.
I think all lesbians are psychopaths.
Yeah, true. I mean, you are
crazy. That my family will be accepting and that I'm in a safe environment. I feel like so many people panic about coming out because of how their families will react. And granted, you know, some people don't get a good experience. But I think some people do stress so much, but then actually, it's when they just do it.
Totally.
It's not too bad. Another high school one. Accepting who I am in high school and just letting people know that I am a lesbian rather than denying it, and I shouldn't be ashamed of who I am.
I think once you own something, this is anything, I think in high school, I always used to say to myself, I would crack the joke about me first, so if anyone else did it, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't like, people would be like, and?
I don't know if you've seen Everybody's Talking About Jamie the musical.
Yes,
like when Dean says like, you're gay, and he's like, yeah, I am gay. So if I say I'm gay, it's not an insult, you say that I'm gay, because I am gay, and like it's just like
same.
You can't hurt me if I've like I've
totally
taken control of that word, and it's whatever. Raise your standards.
Okay.
Stop dating your friends.
I've never done that.
I can't be in the friend group. You're a friend for a reason.
I've been in friendship groups where they would like night on a night out. I've been where they've been in relationships.
Yeah, and they've all like pretty much been around each other.
That's
and
the typical
get
lesbian stereotype that everyone's like connected to an ex or a friend, and I'm like, God, like it's just getting your head around it sometimes.
It's a crazy world, isn't it?
It is definitely. Oh God, never come out to your family. So someone didn't have too good an experience. Just do it. Nothing that comes after coming out is worse than everything you're keeping internalized.
That is true.
I think when you're in your head as well, you make every situation
10 times worse.
Totally.
And then when you just
let it out.
Yeah, exactly. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Everything works out in the end. Chill.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be scared. You don't have to be masculine to be a lesbian.
That's me.
Yes. You'll be happier presenting
that.
the way you feel comfortable by being more feminine.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't think about it too much. Just let it be. Be open and experiment whilst it's easy to do that.
By experiment, do they mean go and have loads of sex?
Probably. Find out what your type is. Stop caring so much about what other people think. Your body does not define you. Don't be afraid to tell people. Stop settling for less than you deserve. Put them in the bin already. Fair enough.
Love that.
I love that everyone's got like, I just always think it's so important to hear that like everyone has a different experience. Like I brought my friend on here who got kicked out for coming out as gay, and it's like just having them role models who've had a good experience, who haven't had a good experience, who've come out as a lesbian and try to be really mass, but then to find out they're really femme, just showing people that there's not one straight path to being a lesbian. Like you can be a lesbian and look however you want, act however you want, have whatever coming out story.
Ours is so different, but I think the combined thing we've got now is because you didn't have the best and I had no right experiences that. Like Jersey now, like we've like created a way for like when if Jersey ever needs it, you can just tell her anything. Like we just want that openness, and hopefully everyone else is like creating that.
I didn't really come out. I used my friend as a scapegoat. I was like, oh, you know my friend Diana, mum's trying to set me up with a girl. Then I was like, oh, I quite like the girl. So we're going to make it exclusive. Like that was it. She told everyone else for me, like, because I was like, I didn't want to make a big song out of it. Like, so she just...
I think as well, because your mum's in a profession, like, she's around so many different types of people within dance, and a lot of, like, males usually are gay if they are dancers, like, or at least that was a stereotype, so it's nice. I said this to my brother, he kind of, like, told me mum and dad he was going on a date with a boy, but this is after I paved the way for him to do
Yeah,
that. Because,
like you'd already sort of seen it.
yeah,
It was
they,
okay.
they didn't even bat an eyelid with me. We did have the conversations. It was dead awkward because that feels like when you talk about sex with your parents. I just felt dead uncomfortable. It was just cringy. But he was just, you come in, I'm going on a date with a boy. Oh, I think it was I've changed my preferences to men and women on Grindr. On not fucking Grindr, Tinder. And my mum was like, all right, and that was it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We touched base on this the other day though, because I said it's sad that you've got to feel the pressure of having to have this big coming out story. It should just be more of like a, like girls, that's it.
Yeah, it's
Do
like
you know what I mean? It shouldn't
just
have
becoming Facebook official with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like, just building that with a girl and not be like, wait, what? Like, it should just be.
Yeah, it should
I
just
think
be
it's
a bit more
definitely getting to the
normalised.
stage for most people where it's becoming just more of a normal thing. I mean, like everyone I know is coming out as gay at the minute.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
It's definitely the cool thing. Isn't it? Like,
but
everyone's
I
gay, but I love it. I'm like, brilliant.
So anytime I always say this, if we know someone that's like actually full-blown lesbian, right, they're not even just like fluid, whatever, they're just full-blown lesbian, and then they go in a relationship with a man, I always say to Jordan, we've lost another one.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's a dagger, right? And then Billie Eilish at the minute is apparently dating a guy,
Fletcher.
Yeah. And I'm just like, and then Jojo.
Oh,
So I'm like,
just wild, isn't
lost
it?
three of them.
I was saying it last week on the podcast, like there's something in the water. We'll jump into some dilemmas. This one, it's all about being a fiance. So obviously you've been there, so you can give us your advice on this. So my fiance has started texting another girl. I was conscious of this because it seemed to be frequent, and the girl she's texting has just become single. They did not text while the other girl was in a relationship. I've spoken to my fiance about how uncomfortable this makes me, but she's carried on. It's now been 4 months and they text every day. I don't know what to do about this, as I've tried to speak to her and she always says that they're just friends. However, I know that other people who are I know that she has feelings for my fiance.
oh.
Okay, strange. I'm trying to be okay with it, as my fiance just keeps saying, well, can't I have any friends? But to me, she is friends with a lot of other gay women and I've never had an issue with that. But this one involves persistent texting and knowing that she fancies my fiance. Do you think this is normal? What do you think I should do? Have you got any advice?
I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
So I would tell her to go ham on her. You might have a bit more of a logical approach.
Now, to be fair, I'm putting myself in that situation if we're fiancés and not married. Shut that down.
I think it's
like,
Especially if you know that she has feelings.
Yeah, of course.
And you didn't speak when she was in a relationship and now she's out of a relationship.
Yeah.
Texts are getting more frequent, a bit flirty.
The thing I was going to say, what was there? So this person that they're messaging now has just come out of a relationship. What was the relationship between them before that? Do you know, like, I'd need to understand that.
Yes.
Because if they were really close.
Yeah, like if you were good friends already, then...
And then they've been in maybe a controlling relationship, like you never know. But then also, if they weren't good friends before, then yeah, shut that shit down.
Yeah, especially if you know that the person's got feelings for your fiancé. Like, you would want to respect your fiancé in that situation and shut it down.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
totally.
So yeah, I'd be having a
Shut
word,
it down!
Yeah, absolutely. Right, this is a good one. How do I tell if a girl is actually flirting with me or just being friendly?
Oh, I mean, a lot of girls are very flirty anyway. But,
Like, there's some people that have that in their nature, just be a flirt, don't they?
yeah.
It's naturally flirty people.
Yeah. And then you'd probably feel an idiot asking them. And they're like, oh no, this is just me.
I think it's hard as well, isn't it? Like, if it's, say, like, two femmes in a relationship, it's like, is it a fancy thing or is it just...
Yeah.
Because I can't necessarily tell that you look gay if you're... if you don't have, you know, your TikTok lesbian.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think like, for me it would be like going out just as friends, like as you normally would, like do a friendship thing, coffee, whatever, and kind of seeing how that is and what the dynamic
what
is.
the vibe
there.
is.
Yeah.
What would you say?
It's hard to differentiate the two because...
People might think I'm flirty because I'm so outgoing.
Yeah.
I think like confidence is sometimes mistook for
yeah.
being flirty. And
Yeah.
it's like, I'm just happy to sit and have a chat with you.
I
Doesn't
love
mean
getting to know
I want to
people.
get in your pants.
Yeah.
I just want to have a chat.
Like
But
what?
for me, you can kind of... I can tell the difference between, like, say, if you were trying to crack onto us and be a bit, like, more forward than just being friendly. I think the chat and the wording of conversations are very different.
I think sometimes when it's like, how close are you getting to? Is there like a touch of the leg or is it literally like, don't fucking touch me, like, what are you doing?
The look,
Yeah, the eyes,
the eye
definitely.
contact, like, is a big thing. So
Definitely.
I'm just a really bad judge of character.
I'm
really
terrible.
bad.
Like, I can spot someone a mile off, whereas you're like so naive and like, oh really? And then like 2 weeks later, it's true, and I'm
Well,
like,
Lucy, I'm
told you.
convinced she got flirted with at the wedding we went to the other week. Some girl went, I like your suit. I went, she wasn't just being nice.
Yeah.
Because she looked a bit gay. I was like, you're not saying to the only lesbian, like, obvious looking lesbian at the wedding, I like your suit. Like, you're like, I like your suit, I want to rip it off you later and get into bed with you. You're not just complimenting that nice suit. I was like, that was a flirt. And she was convinced it wasn't. I was like, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
I think people try and test the waters by what they say and see
like,
what response they
get.
Definitely. But no, I'm just really shit judge of character. So, but I would just tell them to go out. Maybe don't listen to my advice. Actually, that's on that one.
This same person has asked, "Is it too soon to say I love you after a month of dating?"
Never.
Nah.
Never. Especially when you're lesbians.
Yeah. I think when you know, you know. I think we said it
too soon.
Very, very soon.
I think
you said it to me
if
first.
you mean it, as cheesy as that sounds, like, as long as you mean it,
go for it.
People do see it kind of like whenever, but I meant it when I said it.
That's a word that I don't throw around often as well. You know me, like I'm a lot more standoffish than you. Like you throw that word out a lot, like even just with friends and stuff like that. And I find it just because of my background and my experiences, what I've had. It's not a word. I'm just like love you, love you, love you. Like if I say it, it's because I really, truly, deeply mean it.
I think there's a difference as well between saying I love you and love you. I'm like, I say love you to anyone.
Yeah.
Like, love you lots of love. But I love you.
Yeah.
That's like, for me, that's only for the person like that you love and you want to be with. And like if Lucy texts me love you, I'm like,
excuse me? Yeah, where's the I?
Like literally, where is the I? Like, because I think that's something you say for that person when you really, really mean it. You're not just throwing it around. I love you too. Like, it's, you actually mean it when you say
I agree.
that. But I don't think there's ever too soon. Like,
no, never. I think if it's you feel it, like say it.
And you can progress from there as well. Because if you hold off too long, I couldn't imagine holding off.
I don't know how long was it for us?
It's a week.
Yeah,
we
to be fair.
Long. We had a relationship after 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
But I think when it feels right, it's just like, why stop yourself from enjoying it just because of what society thinks is too soon to move on or say something? It's
What
just
you
like,
I think my response back to you when you said it to me was you too.
No, you didn't.
Because back then I wasn't as open as I am back now.
You've never said you too.
I was you too.
Jordan actually used to say love you, you know, that go back to lying.
yeah,
and I used to think, right, fucking hell, we're not living in like Victorian times.
Yeah.
Take it
is what it is.
But you say it now.
I love doing, if I'm in a bit of a mood, someone goes love you, I go, oh, thank you. Thank you for loving me.
You too.
I'll love you again soon. We'll do one more. So we've got, I'm a baby gay with a poor track record of successful dates. How do I flirt with gorgeous girls?
Oh, that's really hard.
Maybe not try too hard. Like, don't overthink things. Just let it flow. Like, if you've got to really like think about what to say and like force a situation, then it's just obviously not meant to be. Yeah.
When you first come out as well, a lot of people like that's their tunnel vision. So any woman they come into contact with, they think could I be with? Like, do you know what I mean? Like they can't really separate friends and like fancy. And I think that's it. Like maybe it's just like take a step back and don't like go for every woman.
Well maybe that's like with the advice people gave their younger selves before. Maybe try a different type of woman because maybe the type you're going for are just all the fuck girls who don't want a relationship and that's why the dates are unsuccessful.
100%. If you're a baby gay, I'm just assuming you're probably having sex with them, and that's me assuming. Like maybe do some other stuff to get to know them first.
Like,
I've probably just got the S part.
Well, no, but that's the feel I'm getting.
No, I get it. Yeah, baby date might just mean that she's literally just come out as being gay for like 2 weeks or something. But yeah,
we've got a friend who we actually call Baby Dyke. She's very new to lesbian world, but she's in a very committed relationship and that they're engaged, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that's been really successful. But
I think your first relationship with a woman can absolutely be that, but sometimes I think we do have to like date around and find your types. I think it is different in men than it is women. Like finding like all men, you know, pretty much look the same. Whereas women, you can get a more feminine woman, a more masculine woman. I mean, obviously you can with men as well, but with women it is a lot different. It's like, do you like a girl who wears girls' clothes? Do you like a girl who dresses like a 13-year-old boy? Like, you know, like, that's what I love. Like, masculine women like wearing boys' clothes. Like, you've got to sort of date around until you find what you like and who. And also, like, do your personalities vibe with each other? That's the most important thing. Like, you can be the sexiest in the world, but like, shit personality, shit chat, shit bed.
Yeah, because this is what I say. There's like some beautiful girls,
more beautiful than me.
No, absolutely not the most beautiful girl in the world. But you could get someone stunning and they've got absolutely shit crack, and that would just like it's a no go. Like I think it's got to come with a vibe, and I'm lucky with you because your personality's fucking class, and obviously you're an alright looking girl, so.
I'm an all-rounder.
You're an all-rounder, yeah.
So are you.
Tick all the
Fresh.
boxes.
Yeah.
Tick, tick, tick.
But I go back Elwood because I used to watch that and I used to think that was the only types of women.
Yeah.
And I used to think, oh, this one's pretty, but her personality wouldn't vibe like Alice.
Yeah.
Dead pretty,
Yeah.
but like too bouncy for
Yeah.
me. And then I used to love Shane, but I used to hate the way she wore her hair. Shane's probably the closest to what I would like, but I don't like the waistcoats. So I would try and think who's like that in real life. So I'd be looking for that. And then I was like, they don't exist.
Like, I think there's so much more beyond like just what you see on
100%.
TV, and because I guess they do the go in on the stereotypes on. Obviously, like someone like I Kissed a Girl, it's reality TV.
Yeah.
But when it's like a TV show, a made up show, like they'll go ham on the stereotypes. Like the
100%.
lesbians are all in like flannel shirts with the shaved hair and a buzz cut and an eyebrow slit and all the piercings, and it's like that's. I mean, there are lesbians out there who dress like that, but
it's just stereotypical.
It's a small realm of lesbians, whereas you've got the feminines, you've got the Sems, the Studs, the Masks. There's so many out there. So
it's a catalogue.
date around a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Right, well, we'll wrap up there. If you want to let everyone know where they can find you and your podcast as well, so they can hear more from you.
So we actually have our podcast, which is the Scissor Sisters, and I think it launches the same day as yours, which is Thursday. Ours is bi-weekly.
Got you.
But yeah, and you can find it on YouTube, Spotify. Amazon, Music,
Apple,
Music,
And our names is just our social media as well. So
what do you mean by that?
just like your full name, as if like I was.
You've confused us. You've confused the public.
I'm saying for your name is your social media. You know how some people ask their social media is like the initials AB94_2222. It's like, it's just, if you want to find us on social media, it's our names.
When I get married, well, if me and Lucy get married, I'll become a barker as well.
Wow, yes.
Would you double barrel or
I like being a tailor, so a barker tailor.
That's nice.
I think Taylor sounds like a middle name.
And do you know as well, I always go for like what comes first in the alphabet. That's how we decide.
That's how we do it,
So true. So you're always at the start of things.
Yeah, it's a very regal name, that Barker Taylor.
Barker Taylor.
Very posh.
Well, make sure you go and check out This Is a Sisters. Give them a follow on Instagram. Make sure you like and subscribe and download and all the things you can for our podcast as well. And I'll speak to you all next Thursday for a brand new episode. See you all later. Bye.
Bye.